are live. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 106, and I'm joined by a very special guest here as she is the current reigning and defending Funhouse Wrestling Women's Champion. She is the Amazon. Good evening. How's it
Good
going?
evening. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Definitely, we have lots to discuss here because that championship will be on the line this weekend. We got some things to discuss. But before we get into all of that, before we get into the pleasantries here, I have to ask you the question to ask everyone that comes on is you heard the name of the podcast, you heard respect the craft. So when you hear that term, the craft, what does that mean to you?
Um, in short, it's art. It's definitely art. It's an art form that everyone has a unique design, unique style to it, and that's what I think of when it comes to mine is that it's art, and we're portraying art, and we are artistic in our own unique way, and that's what makes everybody different in the ring, because everybody comes with different abilities, different skill sets. And it's yeah, it gets to the point that you become so vested in the business that the word respect also ties along with it, in terms of, you're respecting the art form of what this business can bring. And you take it personally, you take it seriously. So that's what it means to me in the short version.
Hey, there you go. That's perfect right there. And here we go, already in the chat. We got our good friends Wes and Kyle saying hello, and of course with Rocco as well. How's it
Hello,
going,
hello,
guys? Thank you
hello.
so much for the support here. And
Thank
here
you.
we go. We got Walter Diaz in the chat. Of course, he has to come in. Walter was very interested in this episode, so here we go. What's up, Walter? So let's get into this first because before we get into especially the championship run you're currently on, let's get into how we get here first because we can talk about the training you went into going to train with a Hall of Famer. You trained under Devon. How was that for you getting to train under a mind that again has held almost every championship you can imagine when it comes to every major promotion you could talk about? How was that, and how did that create the mindset you have now for the business?
It's been an incredible journey. I have been there for a little over a year, and it takes a lot of discipline. It's not easy. He's absolutely wonderful in how he trains, and he knows everything, the ins and outs, psychology, you name it, everything. And it's a lot of work. I'm going to be honest with you, there are days where I leave there and I'm crying on the drive home, like, why am I doing this? Because the training is just that hard. It takes a certain mental toughness to not doubt yourself, to not quit on yourself, because it's so hard. But I wouldn't have it any other way. The discipline has forced me to change my mindset into a more positive outlook and thinking, in terms of doing my homework, doing my research, studying film, and just doing everything to try to get better. And little nuances that just making being in the ring better. Um, I moved to Florida about 2 years ago, and when I took a little break when I first moved in to get settled, and then that's when I was looking for a place to continue my training, and then I ended up at Devon's, and I've been there since, and it really is a lot of fun. Everybody's one huge family, and yeah, and that's such a huge thing, an important asset, for sure, when you train. And it's been incredible. It's been an incredible journey. He's so supportive of everyone there, and everybody has individualized goals on where they're trying to get to be. And it didn't start out that way. I'm born and raised in New York, so when I started 3 years ago, I my training began with Isaiah Wolf, and I started off with that, and then for a brief period of time, I transitioned over to New Jersey with Damian Adams, just for a few months before I officially moved down to Florida. And all three of these individuals essentially have helped me to get to this point, and have it all takes for one person to believe in you. And but more importantly, it's important that you believe in yourself, because if you don't, then what does it do? Nothing, right?
Definitely
So,
so. I have
yeah,
to ask you though, with that being said,
yes.
that is it's a drastic change moving from the New York lifestyle going to Florida. What kept you wanting to still be a part of the business? Because that is a whole drastic change, wanting to get accustomed to that lifestyle now. I can imagine wrestling was definitely on that back burner for the time being. What got you to be like, you know what, I still have that love for it. I want to keep going being so young in the career still. So it's like I can
Yeah.
imagine it's one of those that it's like, do I want to keep doing this or hey, let's start fresh. It's a new life here.
I just figured out like one of the things that when I knew I was going to move and relocate, I said to myself um I have to find a school to train. And I was asking around for recommendations from, people that are very well vested in the business, and they've been around the US and internationally, and just asking for suggestions. And it wasn't even a doubt that I was going to continue my training down here. It was just finding the appropriate place to continue my training at. So it's just, I knew. And then that's also why when I moved, I didn't jump right back into it right away. I took about 3 months off, again, to get settled and also to find a reputable location to train at. And that led to me ultimately training with Devon.
Oh, okay. No, that's amazing to hear that again, that was in the mindset already though. That showed the commitment that again, this means a lot to you. You have that respect for the craft that it's not just well, it was fun while it lasted. Now that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
Like this is why we're having this conversation right now. And again, you are holding that Funhouse Wrestling Women's Championship, and you've held some others while we've gone this road as well. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. So I have to ask as well, because through the time that you've been around in from Florida to New York, that transition, you also got to train at a little place I get to know, the Fallout. How was that for you getting to train with Mike Law, with Masha, all that? How was that experience getting to be around other mindsets as well when it comes to having their tenure in the business?
It's a lot of fun, Joakim has always been great with me. Whenever I'm in town, I usually hit him up, and if my schedule allows me to get that ring time in, I know a lot of the guys there, so he's always open arms, come through, and it's been great just to meet with everybody and be able to associate with everyone, and also pick people's brains and just observe different mannerisms, different character work, and all of that. So it's great. And the few times that I have gone, when my schedule is not intense and down packed. I'm sorry, my dog is being silly right now. I
Oh, good. Oh,
apologize.
good.
It's been awesome. It's awesome that I have established these relationships and these friendships where like I said, everybody's open arms and so welcoming whenever I pull up, and I'm there to learn above everything, and to take away from what's important from others. And I'm always looking to learn. I'm always looking to find ways to improve. You know, little tips here and there. It's the little things that make it all better in the end. So yeah, those things for me are huge more than anything else. When you can establish those relationships with other people.
Oh, definitely. And again, I can imagine getting to have the different fountains of knowledge there again to be with the trainer you have right now, getting to train under Devon, but then once in a while you have other minds to pick from. It always helps to be able to fine tune your own in ring work and your style as well.
Yep, for sure.
So let's get into this now because as I've gotten to see your work and getting to see what you've done in the time so far, I've seen a little bit of that character evolution that I always like to discuss. So how has that been for you finding what is the character that you not that you want to portray nevertheless, but that you are that you want to become and show off in the ring?
Well, I'm this big monster that nobody could bring down and overcome, right? And essentially that's the role. When people get in the ring with me, I'm sorry to say they're scared. That's not my fault. you got you got to be prepared, right? So essentially what happens with that is I get in there, and it leads to the problem that I'm having now. And now that we're getting to the nitty grit of this, I have to just come out and say it. Is getting to the point where, I'm the Funhouse Women's Champ. I was the Goddess Women's Champ for TCW. But it's getting to the point where I show up, I'm ready to go. My opponents don't show. Like, what's up with that?
This is a little bit of a thing we're starting to see. I've had SP on, and every time we're promoting a match, and then night of, there's nothing there. Like,
I mean, it's getting to the point. Like, I've called out TCW so many times. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, what is this? And be ready to fight. Be ready to go. If you're not ready, why are you here? Why are you here? What's the excuse? Stop making the excuse. And I'm not anticipating on winning every single match. I go in there with that mindset that I'm going to win every single match. But it also resulted of what happened to me a couple of months ago with Becca Wiley. She costed me my Goddess title. And then it's amazing because we have the show this Saturday, the 3-year anniversary show for TCW, Monsoon. And then February 25th, we have the Goddess D365 Cup coming on. And little Becca is in the same bracket as me.
I was gonna say, when I noticed that, I was like, so this is just gonna continue on. And this has been for a while now. This has been a storybook just feud here, because we've seen you guys have been crossing paths just constantly, a part of the Goddesses division, a part of Titan Championship Wrestling, and a part of Funhouse. That it's almost perfect here. It's almost poetic that, of course, for a tournament like the D365 Cup here, you guys are gonna face off again as well in that. It's almost too poetic there, but this Saturday, though, it is for a championship. She has cost you in the past the Goddesses of War Championship. So a matchup like this, what does it mean to you when you have that championship on the line? And this time, hopefully, there's nowhere to run for Becca Wiley.
Well, the goal is to take her out as fast as I possibly can. That's the goal. She knows what she's up against. She's not stupid. Becca is smart enough to know. I think Becca is also a little confused, and I'm going to tell you why. So, she called me out for being a bully yesterday. So hold on. You call me a bully, but you run away from me every time you're near me. You call me a bully, but yet you say I make you giggle. You call me a bully, but yet you're so quick to call me a dinosaur. So who's the bully now? It's not my fault that you're scared. She knows that one boot to the face, it's game over. That's all it takes. We're going to find out Saturday. We're going to find out. But I'm ready. I want to get it over with. I need to put this to sleep because it's getting to the point where I'm like, you can run only but for so long. Got to face the music at some point.
Hey, definitely so. And I can imagine this is something that you want to gain that momentum, because not only are you defending your championship, but again, you have that momentum then going into February for the Goddesses of War tournament. So that's double the statement right there on Saturday. But again, we'll have to wait and see. I've seen what the Titan Nation's been responding. They're kind of agreeing. I guess you're not, unfortunately, not as liked in the Titan Nation for some reason. I don't get why. I don't get why they have this mixed reaction for your actions in TCW. I'm not sure.
Titan Nation pretty much has no choice but to roll out the red carpet for me to walk on. Whether they like it or not. It's not up for debate. It's not an option for them. They can't stand me because I won the Goddess title over the summer. And I won the Funhouse Women's title off of Angel Orsini back in September. Correction, November. And then I defended it against Debbie the week after in November. So they can't stand me because, hey, facts are facts, right? I'm the first woman in TCW to win both the Goddess and the Funhouse in the same year. So most people, when they see winners, they take it as a threat. They don't like to see winners, especially when it's not the people that they don't see that they want to see winning, losing. If that makes sense.
No,
Not my
I
problem.
yeah,
Not my problem, not my fault. They have to deal with it.
hey, hopefully they understand because I definitely understood the sentiment there, and I get it. Again, it is something to, I guess, create a reaction, especially in such a short time, holding both of the most prestigious titles for the Goddesses division in Titan and Funhouse Wrestling, back to back winning championships, and again then defeating those that are a little more, how can I put it? I guess enjoyed there. I guess they have that love for Becca because the underdog story. Who doesn't like to support that? But again, when we're seeing her comments yesterday in the promo, who's really the bully here? She's saying names, she's picking on you here. That's not such a hero story, if you will. Just
Becca
from my
talks,
side of it. I don't know.
Becca talks a great talk. She does. I'll give her that. But when it comes down to facing me at the end, all that talk for what?
Well
Means
then,
nothing. Means
let's
nothing if you can't back it up. I'm the bully. So you have an opportunity when I'm literally right in front of you, not even 2 feet in front of your face, and you run.
well then again,
On,
hopefully
on her.
at Monsoon she sees it again, especially how grand this event is. And again, I will admit, when I had SP Anderson on, I tried to convince SP a little bit that this is more of an even playing field. Because unfortunately for SP, he just said you're gonna dominate her on Saturday. Which I have to be neutral as the journalist here. I have to be neutral. I have to be unbiased. But again, I can imagine with her comments, you're not going in as easygoing Saturday. So this might be quicker than I imagined. But we'll see what happens Saturday. But now, again, this is what happens Saturday. We get to that championship match, but then less than a month away, we go into the D365 Cup. And you look at that poster right there, you look at the star studded roster for this cup, and not only just the cup, but the night itself. And you look at what is on the line there. And we look at your bracket again. Let's go into your match here. Because again, we talk about it. Becca Wiley will be in that same first round matchup, but you also now add to the plate Tara Calloway and JC Storm. Your thoughts on not only the tournament itself, but then your first round matchup there.
Going into the tournament, it's a huge honor to be a part of Goddesses, and TCW in general. And it's gonna be a great night. It absolutely is. I already know it's gonna be a great night. Have a lot of amazing talent there, slated to be there and just fight and give it all they got for that Goddess Cup. But with regards to my bracket, we are bracket one, and it's me, Tara, Becca, and JC Storm. I'm not worried about Becca or JC. I'm not worried about Tara either, but I'm ready to go after her. I'm ready to go after her because reputable talent, great person, but it's a fight, and we're going there to fight. JC and Becca will be done 1, 2, 3. I'm not even thinking about it. It's Tara. I don't want to say she will be my biggest challenge, but I guess we could say she's another one that's going to be in my way. And we're going to have to see. But I am looking forward to the tournament. I absolutely am. It's been a long time coming. It's to represent women's wrestling as a whole and to give exposure to great female talent in the business. But it's a fight. At the end of the day, it's a fight because at the end of the day, only one can be crowned. One can be crowned the ultimate goddess of the D365 Cup. And even though she's not in my bracket, I'm looking forward to seeing Riley Shepard. She still owes me a match. She said earlier today, I'm coming back for what's mine and things of that nature. And the only reason why I got the goddess title was because she wasn't there. Well, you know what? I call it for what it is. You weren't there. I was. So it's fair game. I took what was yours, so you can't be mad at something that I took. when you were not there, Riley. See how that works? But I am looking forward to seeing her there. It's going to be interesting. You got a lot of strong women in this tournament, a lot of strong, powerful women that work hard all year round. And it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top. That's a definite.
No, definitely so. And this is an amazing thing to see, to be able to see a night again showcasing amazing women's talent here again to support independent wrestling and supporting women's wrestling here. Again, I supposed to be unbiased, neutral here as a journalist, but I do have another favorite in there. I gotta also she also holds some Funhouse Wrestling gold, Valentina. So let's see. You guys are on different sides of the bracket at the moment, but that could possibly go down going into one of the next rounds. So I guess we'll have to wait and see for February.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find out. It's Valentina's also a great reputable talent. Got Gabby Gilbert also there,
Definitely
and
another veteran of the game right
I have
there.
yeah, I faced Gabby before. I beat her over the summer. Just throwing it out there. But
Just just a little brag, just like
yeah,
I did.
that's all. That's all it is. And yeah, it is going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. And I know it's not just me. I know all the women there are going for a fight. So and it's just going to be a big fight, and we're going to see who comes out on top.
Definitely so. But now, okay, we've gone through that. We're going through what's coming up. But now let's talk a little more in the future. It is a new year. We're still very fresh into the new year as well. So let's start talking about that now. Let's start looking into what does the Amazon want to do this year? What is on that plate of promotions you want to make your impact at, promotions, opponents you want to face? What are we looking at into 2023?
Wow. Um it's a big list, and in this business, I am taking it um I'm taking it one day at a time. That's all I can do. This business is so weird in the sense that we can't predict what's going to happen a week from now, a month from now. Anything can happen. Anything extravagant, the highs and the lows. It is a fresh year. I do have goals. God willing, one of my goals is to hopefully end up on an AEW dark match at some point. That's definitely a goal of mine. I have my cat here visiting.
No.
Another goal that I have is to hopefully um, a huge goal of mine that I was very reluctant to attempt to reach out and try it because it's certain talents or promotions. It's looking for certain things, and it's never anything personal. It's just when you think about trying to reach out to a promoter or an organization, you get reluctant because you're like, "Ugh, do I have what it takes?" type of thing. Like, should I? But it's part of the process, right? It's part of growing and learning, and rejection sometimes is a good thing because it makes you stronger. Not that I have really encountered that in this scenario, but my goal is to fly to Germany over the summer to train at WXW. And I had been in contact with them over the past month with regards to getting situated and what the procedures are for them and things of that nature. And it is absolutely a goal of mine, and I'm determined to get it done within the year for sure. Train out there for a few weeks, get that experience of over international waters of what it's like, training, with people from different parts of the world. I actually back in October, um, I faced Roxy, who is at CCW. She is the women's champion, and she's from Puerto Rico. And I do speak Spanish. I am fluent in Spanish, but it's so different when you're in the ring and you're trying to figure out how the hell do I say hip toss? Like, how are we doing this? Um, but it's body language,
Yeah.
and these are things that I still want to perfect. I still want to work at, and it's it's nothing more. The best ways to learn is through body language. It's feeling, and It's but Germany is on my list. It's absolutely on my list. I said it last year. I said I am going. I am going to figure out a way. I am making it happen. And yeah, so it's just getting that feel of being over international waters. I have never traveled internationally. So this would be my first go around, which is something that I absolutely am looking forward to. And I'm just enjoying the ride, to be honest with you. Anything can happen. Um, I'm just flowing and I'm taking it day by day. And my biggest output for me is just to make sure that I stay healthy no matter what. Without health, we are nothing. And and I'm not necessarily talking about broken bones and things of that nature, because it's part of the business. It happens. Injuries do occur, but mental health, internal health, that's without that, we're nothing. We can't push to our absolute limits.
No, definitely so. And it's no, that is awesome right there. And I do have to ask that where is that mindset to want it? Because that alone is insane to want to not only go to another whole just foreign land, international land, but want to train and learn their style. That's where did that come from? Wanting to do something like that? Where did you um, hear about wanting to do WXW? Because I've seen a lot of, especially around this area, a lot of people wanting to do that, and even I believe Alex Raymond did it twice, getting to train out there. How is it that you heard about this and want that it got your sparks going for it?
So in truth, I again, it's reaching out and leaning on people that have been in the business a lot longer than I have, and that they have encountered these experiences, and what are the best approaches in terms of getting these experiences. And I reached out to a couple of friends, and that was one of the suggestions that was made to me. So I did my research thoroughly on whatnot. I reached out to WXW, and they did provide me with feedback, and I was just amazed that they answered me. Like, it's because there's so many people that I'm sure that reach out to them. It's like insane how many emails they get. And it's getting, I want everyone in wrestling to know who the Amazon is. That's my goal. It's from being in the ring. Everybody knows I can beat anybody's butt. I'm keeping it PG here. for
Hey, you
the
could say whatever you want. It's all good.
for the most part, everybody knows that about me, but I want to be more than wrestling. I want to reach to that next level in
Gotcha.
wrestling. So and again, I'm all about learning. I'm all about improving. And this is one of the best ways, is just putting yourself out there. It's not easy. It takes work. It takes a lot of work, but it can be done. And so when the opportunity is presented in front of you, you need to take it. Because sometimes it's a one-time shot thing. So it's we're going to see what happens, but it's on the list with the planning, and God willing, it will flow through and come to fruition, and that's the goal.
Hey, there you go. And again, I can imagine that just again it opens the floodgates there because that leads to so much more learning a different style there, getting to add to the repertoire, and again showcasing why again your style has so many elements to it. So I can imagine training under Devon, getting the training you did while you were here in the tri-state, it just adds more and builds more. So I have to ask this as well. Because we talked about that when you got to face Roxy. Is that something also in the agenda? Maybe doing a Latin American country, going to maybe La Isla, going to Puerto Rico. Is that something in the future mindset wise? Because we know how great, how just crazy wrestling is over there.
It is in the works. It is in the works for me to wrestle in Puerto Rico,
Ooh,
which would
okay.
actually, it's very close to my heart. Um, my mother lived over there. She was born in the States, but then when she was an infant, she flew back to Puerto Rico, and she
Okay.
lived there till she was about 7, 8 years old. But my whole family is over there on both my mother and my father's side. I still have family there now. So to be able to wrestle over there, it would actually truly be amazing. So that is also on the agenda as well. Um, I wouldn't mind facing Roxy again. You know, all right. She got me that time, but and that's it. But hell of a competitor. Hell of a competitor. Great to work with. Feisty little one. But yeah, Puerto Rico is she's actually from the same town that my mother lived in. So it's very, for sentimental purposes, I can't wait to wrestle in Puerto Rico. It's definitely on the to-do list as well. By spring, early summer, hopefully that will happen as well. So, or definitely this year for sure. So we'll see what happens. And it's just amazing to be put out there, and just it's amazing, and it shows me how many people actually love and enjoy wrestling. And it's just when you go into a show and you're getting that feedback, whether they love me or hate me, it's hey, it's wrestling. I'm here to
Definitely.
work. I don't care about your feelings. I'm there to work. That's how I see it. But it really is, one thing that I tell people is that material can always be replaced, money can always be replaced. What cannot ever be taken from you is experiences. And it's something that you can take with you for the rest of your life. And to have an experience of wrestling in a different country or just a different region or location is an experience nobody will ever take from you. And that's what I look for. That's what I look for more than anything else.
Gotcha. No, and again, that definitely is something to add to that. That adds to having that travel, having that just adds to the grit of it all. And it's awesome when you hear these stories about this is where this develops. This is where that hunger just grows more, because when you have experiences like that, it adds to it. It adds to why we have that respect and love for the business and the craft that is professional wrestling. So I have to ask you this though, being that this is something you do as well, but there is another occupation you do. Have your students found out about this side of you? And if so, their thoughts on what the Amazon does in the ring.
Yes. So I actually have on my bulletin board right by my desk, when I won the goddess title over the summer, I
Okay.
had the picture with me holding the title. It's on my board. And then I actually have a picture of myself holding this title. It's on my board as well. And kids are asking me all the time. They're like, when do you have another match? Are you going to New York this weekend? And things like that. And who are you facing? And who do you want to face? And things of that nature. So they watch wrestling too. Like, these are kids that they watch WWE, AEW, and a lot of them actually like going to a lot of the indie shows in the area in Florida of where they live. So they love it, and they're always asking me questions and picking my brain. And it's pretty cool. And it's it makes me laugh because sometimes they go, Miss, I wouldn't mess with you. And I'm like, well, either way you wouldn't mess with me, because power in the pen. Okay. So it's refreshing to see your students, that they pick your brain about that as well, apart from the academics. And it's just nice to talk to them and have conversations like that about wrestling with them. Or when they're watching a wrestling match, they'll ask me, what is this move? What is that move? And things like that. And it's really cool. It's cool that the wrestling world knows the other side of me, which is I'm a teacher. And my students know this side of me, that I'm a wrestler. So it's like you get the best of both worlds, essentially. So it's pretty awesome.
No, that is definitely awesome there. And again, I commend you on that, because it is a insane job and tough job to have to teach the youth now. So I commend you on that. And
Middle
having
schoolers.
oof, yeah, uh,
Yeah.
I definitely don't miss that time. But that is awesome, and I love that it has the almost that perfect mix there, that perfect balance that you get to share that with them, and they get to see that side and have that love and fandom for it. That's great.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah, it's
is
really awesome.
that is awesome there. But let's go into this as well, because Wes and Kyle are asking as well. So let's get into that. We talked about places. We talked about those goals. So is there anyone that you haven't gotten to work with yet? And we'll go in their way, man or woman, that you would want to face in this new year here.
Man or a woman? It's a tough one because, I had the opportunity of wrestling Angel Orsini, and she was great. And it's getting to the point that apart from Angel, if the women keep dipping on me over here, I may have no choice but to face the men. I mean, because it's getting ridiculous. So to answer Wes's question, I don't really have a preference. I really wouldn't want to say I have an ideal match. I'm ready to face anybody. Man, woman, does not matter. If I absolutely had to choose, though, just simply because of size and the mannerisms, Nyla Rose. If I absolutely had to choose.
Okay. So I could definitely imagine you're going to be scouting in February.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be watching her very closely. I'm going to be watching her. She's great, and I'm actually excited because this would be my first time ever meeting her.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So, it's and again, I'm all about the learning, but I'm going to be my eye's going to be on her for sure.
No, definitely. I can imagine. Nyla, great person, but again, she also, when it comes down to that squared circle, she has her dominant side. So I definitely can imagine that's going to be something you're going to be watching with a very close eye there to see what Nyla brings to the table. And I can only imagine, especially if you're able to win the whole cup, she's going to be having her eyes on you to see what happens in the future here. So
yeah, I mean, the goal is to win that cup. And I just don't like people in my way. Like, it's like, go, get out, leave, like, go away. Like, let me do what I have to do, but then, all right, we got 16 women here. So
hey, it has to be again to make a whole extravaganza of it. Again, it's to bring the crowd home and get everyone to enjoy here.
yeah,
I mean, that Wes and Kyle will be there, so there you go.
Oh,
They
yeah,
said they
for
can't
sure,
wait for the women's
absolutely. I
cup.
know Kyle and Wes and maybe Rocco will be there, but I know I can honestly say that going into this tournament, especially with Titan Nation, I know I'm not exactly the fan favored to win. Too bad. Get over it. I will be there. I'm the Funhouse Women's Champ. It's going to be a shame when, Titan Nation is once again disappointed because who they actually want to win, that outcome doesn't resonate to that or result in that. So there's nothing I could do about that there. Titan Nation is going to have no choice but to get used to me because I'm not going anywhere. It is what it is. I'm there to work, and I always put up a good show. I do my best to work my hardest, and I do my job, and my job is to entertain. So as long as I'm doing my job, that's what matters.
Hey, there you go. No, why did Walter do that? See, this is I'm the interviewer here. I don't get asked questions. Well, why are you asking me the question? Who do I want to see win? Well, I just want to see the fans go home happy. They're the winners there. That's the real winners. The fans get to enjoy it.
He put you on the spot though.
Yeah, see, but I get to play around with it though. He didn't ask me in general in the actual tournament. So I get a scotch free answer there. So we'll go with that. The fans get to win that day. That's my pick to win it all. The fans get to enjoy the night of amazing women's action. So of course it is. Do you want me to? I can't answer again. I have to be unbiased here. Before February, we'll have to probably have SP and Kevin Nasta on to talk about the whole thing. We got to promote it. So I got to be unbiased. So there you go, Walt. But now, before I let you go, Amazon, because again, very busy. I don't want to take up too much more of your time here. I have to now ask you the question I ask everyone that comes on, and that is for the Amazon, what is your end goal in professional wrestling?
Um, my end goal is to just leave a legacy where people know who I am. People understand my art form. They understand my craft and the impact that I have on fans and the wrestling business as a whole. I can't predict the future. Obviously, everyone has an end goal of getting a contract somewhere, wherever that may be. But I'm pushing towards that. I will continue to work hard because it takes a lot of work. But for right now, I'm just enjoying the ride. And wherever the wind takes me is where I'm going to follow. And who knows where it might lead me to. You know, I've been given so many opportunities just thus far up to this point, and it's continuing to evolve and to expand, and I can only go up from here. So that's my purpose for this year, is to just continue to go up, continue to push, and see where I end up. And wherever I end up, I will be perfectly content. Um, Work is never done. I'm not saying I would ever settle, because I don't settle. I keep going, and we're gonna see. But when I have an idea in mind, and when I have a goal in mind, even people that know me on a personal level, I am the one that I power through it until that goal is reached.
Gotcha. No, and perfect. And again, like we said, in this short career so far, it's been quite a journey. I can't wait to see how, just in a year's time, what you've been able to achieve. And hey, well, maybe we'll have to do it again next year to kick off 2024 to see just the experiences you've had so far. But thank you so
I'm
much,
all
Amazon,
for it.
for joining us. To everyone watching, thank you so much for watching again. Don't forget to follow the Amazon on all her social medias there, so that way you stay up to date with all things coming up. And especially when she does those international journeys, get to follow that journey, because that's going to be a great time as well. But also, don't forget to follow our good friends at TCW with all their shows coming up, including this Saturday's Monsoon, the third anniversary event. Get your tickets now, as well as, like I said, to SP. It's still there. If you want to donate to the amazing food drive that he is doing, link will be in the description down below. Thank you again, Amazon, for joining us, and everyone watching. As always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, respect the craft, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.